What's up, horror fans?
You know what time it is? Let's get into this. All right, everybody.
What's up?
We're back.
I know you guys have loved our last two episodes.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we're kind of taking a break from that this week because we've got a really good friend of ours on tonight, and we're going to talk about, really, you know us, we talk about all kinds of shit. We're going to talk about everything tonight, but mostly we're going to talk about, since it is Women in Horror Month, we're going to talk about some women in horror. Yes. And there's no better person to talk about women in horror with than our really, really good friend from up north, Mr. Bill Van Veghel. What's up, Bill?
Hey, how you doing, guys? It's great. It's been a hot minute since I've been on, and I've chat with you guys all the time, either about heavy metal or movies or just life in general,
right.
You know, life in our jobs or whatever. So it's great to come back on. I haven't introduced myself to the Horror Chronicle audience for a bit. I thought I'd say hi. And you know what? We can just chew the fat about whatever the hell it is we want to talk about.
Oh, we're going to chew on something.
And that's why we love our podcast, because it's kind of like, you know, it's funny. Some people come there, it's like, so what are we talking about? I'm like, you know what, bud? We're gonna be talking about something, and then it's gonna go completely off the rails.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make it up as you go along. Hope you're good at improv.
You're gonna get a Dave Becker conversation where you go one way and it ends up the other way.
That's why he loves coming on our show.
You know, Dave's one of those guys. He'll be like knee deep into a topic, and then all of a sudden it'll be like squirrel.
Yep.
So do you remember?
I love it, dude. I love talking to him.
You're like, you know, back in 1968 when they made this film, the producer was. You're like, what?
No, I don't know that, but thanks for telling me.
Oh,
yeah,
my
guys.
God.
So, Bill, real quick, it's been a minute. Why don't you let everybody know what you got going on podcast wise and where they can find you?
Well, podcast wise, where you can find me, you know, if you have a show, I will come on. So contact me, and I am available.
Absolutely.
My main gigs are with Land of the Creeps, with my really good buddies, Greg Morgan, Greg Immortus, Pearl Morgan, Dr. Shock, Dave Becker. We do bi-weekly shows on themed topics that go anywhere between 3.5 to 6 hours, depending upon how many people call in. We're really interactive. Call in, go to our message boards, whatever. And I'm also on Phantom Galaxy with Nathan Bartlebaugh, and we have, under that umbrella, so many other different shows: music, anime, sci-fi, X-Files, horrors. So check us out on all your podcatchers, Phantom Galaxy, Land of the Creeps. We'd love to have you here. It's sometimes irreverent, sometimes laid back, always respectful, good people. We invite the Horror Chronicles audience because we've thrown a few the Horror Chronicles way too. We're all just one big happy family.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that was almost public service announcement like.
And that's
brought to you by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
Damn Canadians. No. Yeah, so tonight, guys, you know, we have a topic that we're going to talk about, and like I said, it may end up going somewhere else too, but that's fine.
Oh, it's going to go sour, I'm sure. Well,
the reason, that's another thing, as soon as we came up with this, like, I actually messaged JT, and I was like, hey, I got Bill coming on. He wants to know what kind of something we can talk about. And then he's like, well, since it's Women in Horror Month, and the first thing I sent him, I'm like, you're definitely getting canceled after this episode.
Well, I was telling the boys beforehand, I've got multiple pages of research, but that may mean shit once we get talking.
You know.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did want to bring up is I listened recently to your episode on upcoming movies of 2023. I really like that one. You guys kind of cut to the point, and I like how you kind of cut away, watched a trailer. Oh, now I think about it this way. That was really good.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there was a couple that Ryan had brought up that I hadn't seen, and then there was a couple that I had that he hadn't seen, so we just took a pause for the cause. And don't worry, we both peed then, too. So. Not on each other.
I was listening to The Doors the other day, Not to Touch the Earth, and the woman's in love with a snake. So, you know, that's...
Yeah. Well, so is Ryan.
One I've seen, I've followed because I follow Ted Nicolau. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year, is they're in the midst of shooting Subspecies Blood Rise 5.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah, I did see something about a new blood species.
Yeah, and they've got what's his name? Anders Hove is coming back to do Radu.
Oh, nice.
Which
nice.
I think would be quite interesting. I mean, I don't
recognize the name, but I know who you're talking about in the film.
It's the actor that plays the main vampire. So he's coming back. So he might be the elder statesman with a bunch of young kids and young vampires he's training. I'm not sure.
Nice, nice.
But I like I love a good full moon production, and Subspecies is right in there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super stoked.
There's really good stuff.
There's a lot of good stuff coming out. So it's been a minute since we had a year of like what seems to be going to be some pretty good stuff. TV wise,
absolutely.
That's the one thing that's good about we were talking earlier about streaming services and things like that. Like that's one thing good about like Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. They're coming up with these series that are awesome, that are pretty entertaining and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you guys, I'm not going to say much about it, but The Last of Us, I don't know if you guys have been watching that stuff.
Yeah.
Man,
it's funny. I hadn't been watching it. My wife and I started it yesterday morning and made it all the way through.
I'm not caught all the way up yet. So, but it's been really good. It's been great, actually. I really like it. But yeah, I'm pretty stoked about all the stuff.
And it's funny, if you were a gamer, you would like that even more.
Right.
Because it's so close to the game. It's crazy.
See, I have to admit, I don't watch a lot of the TV end of it because you got to keep up.
Yeah.
And I've got so many movies to watch in between, and life gets in the way. And if you forget something from 2 weeks ago, I usually give up on it.
Yeah.
And it's not because it isn't good. Unless I sit and who with a family ever has 4 hours to sit and,
Right.
Binge. And that's funny that you say that, because I was going to say what my wife and I do is we wait until the series is complete, and then we just sit down and binge it. And so The Last of Us, though, the series isn't complete.
Right.
We only made it through 5 episodes because that's all that's out now.
Right.
So now it's now I play the waiting game for the rest of it to come out. I thought it was all out, but it's not.
Now, the one thing I haven't heard is Squid Game's coming out this year.
I don't, I just saw something about that the other day, and I don't know if it's coming this year or next year.
Or is it next year? Yeah, because that was the last one where I kind of sat and watched through it all and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch any of that, and I heard it was really good.
Yeah.
But I just, it's gotta.
But you have to like that South Korean, way of doing things.
Right. And here's the thing, and it doesn't really suck, but that's the thing about it is that actually there's a lot of stuff coming out of like Korea and stuff like that. It's really good horror stuff, like TV shows and whatnot, that I feel like they had a bigger budget. They'd be really excellent.
Yeah. Some of them, they've got a really good budget. It's just, it's in a foreign language, and a lot of people don't dig that.
Yeah. See, I watched Train to Busan, but I watched it with
Train to Busan is.
It's a masterpiece to me.
Oh yeah, I mean I love that movie is worth the read.
And I didn't have to read it because it was dubbed.
Ah, I gotcha. See, and that drives me up the wall. I'd rather read a movie than watch somebody talking, because it's like
I hate reading.
To me personally, I will always take the subtitles.
Yeah.
I watch so many of them in German, in Italian, in whatever language. South Korean, Japanese. Well, to me, it's second nature.
And to me, so the reason why it affects me so much is that I'm a very much I pay attention to everything that's going on in the scene.
Right.
And I think it takes away from the movie for me. I get distracted in the reading.
I get that.
So for me, I like to see the faces when people are talking. I like to see what's going on behind them. I like to see if there's anything I'm not catching, and if I have to read something.
You're very detail oriented.
Yes, very much so. I'm always like, did you see that? And my wife's like, no, what did I miss? And I'm like, look at this right here. And it'll be like a silhouette that's in the dark, but you can see a little bit of a darker silhouette. I'm like, you see that? Or she's like, no, I'm like, so I catch that shit, and that's just I love that stuff in the movie.
This is where the advantage of having bad eyes are, because I have bifocals that split it.
Yeah.
So you can catch the bottom end.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Watching everything at once. My brain can't keep up like that. There's no way.
But when you get the subtitles, you get the inflection, you get the bot, you can. But there are sometimes, if it's like 11:30 or 12 at night, I'll see if there is a dubbed one. If it's a movie, I don't, I don't give two hoots about watching the inflection of a kung fu movie.
Right. Train to Busan actually dub was not horrible at all. Like it wasn't that. I love that movie.
And I've got to be in the right frame of mind for them too. I mean, I
Right.
can't just I'm going to watch a horror movie. Oh, here's something foreign. I'll watch it, and I can't do that. It's like I got to be.
The other night I flipped on Tubi. It was, I don't know, about 11:30. I finished work and I ended up watching Torso. And Torso is subtitled.
Torso.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a great movie, and there are two versions of it. There's the subtitled and there's the dubbed, but Tubi only had the subtitled. And
Right.
even though it was
Gotcha.
late, it's such a good movie that I was willing to,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, Tubi's freaking. It's cool. There's a lot of good stuff out there. It's funny. It's not horror related, but I watched. My wife's like, we watch so much horror, and I'm like, okay, I got it. I know. She's like, so let's watch something else. I'm like, okay. So I ended up just watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Mhm.
I finished the third one today, and then we're gonna get into the Hobbit. Then that's just something for us to do
Right,
and watch
right,
with the kids.
right.
But I forgot how much I like those movies.
Yeah,
I haven't
They
seen
are
them in
good,
years.
man.
So it's just
if I could recommend one that's going to be up for Oscars to watch, that you feel like you're actually watching a good movie, check out All Quiet on the Western Front.
I've heard that. I have heard that title.
It's a good. Well, it was a book. It was done in 1930 some odd, and it was redone in 1979.
Mm.
And none of them are exactly the same. They're kind of based on the loose World War I from a German perspective, but it's a good little film.
Right.
Oh, cool. I'll
Awesome.
have to
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, man. I heard that title a bunch, actually. I've heard that quite a bit just in podcasts I listen to that are really, it's funny, aren't movie related. They're just, they'll bring it up because it's just something that, this is a good movie. If you like this, you'll love this.
And
one.
it's got some of the best fighting action scenes since what's the one where they have to give the letter? They got to go to World War II where they got to bring the letter to the.
Oh, is that Dunkirk?
No. Fighting Private Ryan.
Saving Private
Private Ryan.
Yeah,
Some of the best
yes.
fighting scenes in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I thought you're going to say about finding
My
Ryan's
Private?
privates. Yeah.
Good. Hey, good luck.
Saving Ryan's Private. There actually is a. Never mind.
Yes. But no, so tonight, so what's, we'll go ahead and get into a little bit of the subject we're talking about. So since it is, like you said, Women, Horror Month, we are going to talk about some of the women horror. And of course, you guys know how we are. So if you're going to be mad, go ahead and send all your emails to JT. But we're men and we love women. And, that's the thing about it. And it's funny.
I would say we appreciate women.
I will say that, yes, we have an affinity and we appreciate women.
Yes.
We appreciate them
For long
In
periods
all
of time.
forms.
for a long period of time. Sometimes it makes our hands sore. But anyways, so I got a question for you guys. To pop this off. But so is there or has there ever been a movie that you've watched strictly because of the lead actress
Absolutely.
or a female that was in it, and
Absolutely.
just because they're in it, you probably weren't even interested in it? But I mean, granted, we all love horror, but
I'll tell you right now, my favorite actress going right now, regardless of genre, is Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she is a fantastic actress. She's an attractive woman, but beside that, she can carry a film. I think within a couple of years, you're going to see her up for Academy Awards.
right?
I think she's, and The Menu was not a film that I necessarily ran in to watch. I kind of knew the concept, but once I knew she was in it, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I thought
Okay,
she was fantastic.
And that's exactly what I was asking. So that, and what about you? Is there like a actress that you like follow, or you'll see just because?
God, anymore? Before? Okay, I'm going to tell you. I once watched this movie called Wanted. I had no desire to see, but I watched it because Angelina Jolie was in it.
And how was the movie?
Actually, it's not that bad.
I don't really remember it.
It's about it's actually about assassins. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's actually not that bad of a movie, honestly.
Yeah.
With horror, it's funny because my wife tells me this all the time. She's like, we can't watch this. It's got TNA in it, TNA. And I'm like, well, I mean, that's, horror and TNA come together, it's like peanut butter and jelly. And it's funny because I was watching a movie. I can't remember what it was, but I was watching this movie, and my wife was outside talking on the phone, and she came back in. Of course, it's one of those situations you see all the time. Movie while I'm watching by myself. Movie whenever someone walks in the room.
Yeah,
there's a sex scene going on, and I was like, "Yeah, really, Ryan?" She's like, "I know why you're watching this movie." I'm like, "This just happened. Like, what do you want me to do?" Well, it's part of the end.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with territory.
I've always wondered too. I think that has to do TNA cells, of course,
right.
But you're also, when you're doing that, you're at your most vulnerable point. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Your mind is so enthralled in what you're doing, like as an actor or as a person, if it's saying this is real in a story. Right. You're at your most vulnerable point. You're butt ass naked. Your brain is going strictly to one area. And then boom, something fucking crazy happens.
Yeah.
Well, the other night I was watching American Werewolf in London. And
Great.
My wife walked right down in that scene towards the end where they're in the porno theater.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's not
she
bad.
She didn't know the guy, did she? No. Okay.
No. But, and it's one of those things where Jen has known me so long. She's like, Bill, whatever. But, she goes, but she's been to London. She goes, I don't remember that theater. I love Piccadilly Square. There ain't no porno theater down there.
That's bullshit.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that when we were talking about this concept and stuff. And then I got into thinking about horror movies and, how I was like, why, especially in the 80s. Now, I know in the 80s is probably a lot because sex sells.
Right.
And it did great with that. But like I was thinking, I was like, that really is kind of like you're very vulnerable in that situation,
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, I'll tell you a situation. When I was 12 or 13, you always go to that video store where they'll rent you the video or they don't care. So if you can reach it, they'll rent it to you.
Right.
And me and a buddy, always been a horror hound, watched Slumber Party Massacre simply for the cover.
Great movie.
Right.
I freaking love that film.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's one of those ones where you go because you see, women in, scantily clad negligees on the cover. But I legitimately, it's probably my top 5 slashers of all time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great movie.
It's where the TNA gets you in, but you end up enjoying the movie a lot more than you have any right to.
Boy, does it.
It's funny because I was trying to think of myself, because when I had that question for you guys, I was trying to think for myself. I'm like, is there like an actress I'll watch stuff in? We'll go strictly off of attraction, and I don't know like that there is. And I think that for me, the reason why now is because you can literally just go on the internet and find whatever the hell you want to.
Right.
And you don't have to go through the movie.
Yeah.
But the thing about horror movies is that they always have very attractive women in them, and
absolutely,
some of them are better actresses than others, of course,
absolutely.
But like a lot of the women in horror are actually pretty damn good actresses.
But I'll go back to
some of them.
The genius of Roger Corman. He knew this in the 50s, and he knew what sells: blood, boobs, beasts.
Yeah.
That's what sells horror.
Yeah.
You can be as all artsy fartsy as you want, and you're going to get that 10% crowd that go for that. But you're going to go for one of those 3 things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's like with I'm going to keep my comments to myself.
Do it.
Because I've recently changed my outlook on this person.
Oh.
But, Jamie Lee Curtis, amazing actress, and
I'd say you remember her in Perfect.
Whew. I remember her in Trading Places.
Well, yeah, that too.
But she's a great actress, and she is pretty and everything, but she's a great actress, and she can I would go see a movie with her just because, I know it's going to be good acting and whatnot,
Right.
I mean, you watch her from Terror Train, and then 5 years later, she's in A Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's fantastic,
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And now granted, she's one of the few, and yeah, there's a reason why, and I've already talked to JT about this outside of here because I don't want to really talk about it on here. But she's one of the few who have gotten into where she gets her respect. But that's also from the horror world, and that's because she's gone on, like you said, to do other things, like comedies and stuff like that, and action movies and whatnot.
But she can mix it up in that, like when you watch, what's the one with Schwarzenegger where
True Lies.
True Lies.
Yeah.
She looks fantastic.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
She carries her role amazingly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that I was going through trying to think of women who have gone big, who are like known for horror, but
Yeah. Have
still,
made it big.
still kind of get that respect
Yeah.
in the acting world. And that goes to show you that it's a whole thing with horror in general. People think that horror is just, it's just, like you said, blood, boobs, and beasts, and there's a lot more to it, I think.
Yeah. Well, and when it comes to making horror, a lot of these, mainline actors and actresses start out in horror because it's easier to get booked into or get hired for a horror film, especially if it's an indie film. I mean, look, you look at something like, Halloween from 1978. Nobody knew John Carpenter. He wasn't anybody,
You look at like an actress like Sigourney Weaver in Alien.
Right, exactly.
She took that and ran with it. And she's a superb actress.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's probably one of my favorites.
But it took her shooting down these drooling, huge aliens in outer space to get her noticed.
Right. And that's like you were saying, people cut their teeth in the horror world,
Right. Right.
And I think that it should get a lot more respect than it does.
It's funny. I was just talking to my wife. This is on the male side, but how many people realize that Paul Rudd cut his teeth in Halloween 6?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
From there you jump. I mean, you can go to your Johnny Depps, and like there's all kinds of them.
Johnny Depp started Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like I think that the 80s was such a great era for horror that like it sparked a lot of careers, and it makes sense because their ages they're at now, they have that, it's like if someone starts off in the 80s, by now if they're Johnny Depp, they're well known.
Right.
But even if you look at some of those early to mid to late 80s, Full Moon Productions, Trauma Productions, people got their feet wet in there and then they jumped up. Or they decided to stay, like Rochon, Debbie Rochon got her start in Trauma with Romeo and Juliet. And Terror Firmer. And she decided, she likes the genre, and she just stuck with the genre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one that sticks out to me was Tim Thomerson.
Scanners.
Yeah. I mean, he also did, what were them? He played a detective or something. What the hell was that?
You got me beat, bro.
Oh my God. Trancers.
Oh, Trancers. Sorry, not Scanners. I meant Trancers.
Yeah, Trancers.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, you said Scanners, and that kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
Trancers. That was a great series of movies, sci-fi. And have you ever seen any of those?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, Tim Thomerson's the main character. He's a cop, and his name's Jack Death, isn't it?
Yeah, and to go back to it, who got their start there? Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So
and that's the thing, like, why am I drawing a blank on his name? He was an Alien, Pumpkinhead.
Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen. He does a lot of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
He actually is in one of a great movie that is on Tubi, I believe, called Daylight's End. I think it's called Daylight's End. And he's in it, and it's actually a really good fucking movie.
Really,
it's a B movie, but it's fucking good.
I've seen
I just watched it again. I just watched it again a couple days ago. Yeah, but he's in that. He does a lot of those movies, but he's a really famous actor. But it's a really good. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. I believe it's on Tubi. I think it's called Daylight's End or something like that. But it's actually really, really good. And he's in that. There's a few people in there that you would probably recognize. But he does a lot of those movies, those B movies, and those, which is cool because it gives them a good lead actor or a good actor, a well-known actor, and he's I love that motherfucker as an actor. He's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Near Dark, all that, what I'm saying? Like, he's
still working today. You can hire out, if you're a lower end production, but you have a bit of money, you can hire him for 2 days.
See,
and he'll put his bid out. Same with somebody like Tony Todd.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Like Tony Todd, he doesn't have to be in every scene. He can just be in his 4 scenes, and then you pay him his
he gets paid, and we're all happy because he was in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
plain and simple.
but when you guys thought and brought the subject up, I did a bit of research into the history of females in horror. The first one I could come up with that I actually thought of was Mary Philbin. And Mary Philbin was in Phantom of the Opera in 1925 and The Man Who Laughs in 1928. Okay. And then I went to Elsa Lanchester, the Bride of Frankenstein. Yep. And, she was in The Spiral Staircase. And then years later, she went on to do Willard in 1971. And she also did, I'm just looking at my notes here, Terror in the Wax Museum, a remake of that in 1973. So she spanned 50 years.
Right, right.
Like she started in horror, she did a whole bunch of other things, and then went back to horror.
So that Willard movie, is the one that came out a few years, is that a remake of that, or is it a different?
Yeah. Okay. The 70s version is different than the one that came out right in the 90s or early 2000s.
I just wanted they're connected, like so.
No. It's like
not connected, but it's a retelling. Okay,
a reinterpretation.
Right. I just didn't know if it was it was a different movie with the same name.
And both are really good. The new one that's got Crispin Glover.
Yes,
playing.
Crispin, and with Crispin, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting with Crispin.
No, you really don't.
Every time I see him, all I think about is fucking.
You either get the dad from
that's all I think about. Back to the Future,
or you get his crazy dance moves on Friday the 13th.
Oh, I forgot about that one too.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Or 4.
But I just I can't get every time I hear him or see, I think of him sitting in that chair laughing.
But he did a remake of is it one of the Herschel Gordon Lewis ones, Bucket of Blood or Wizard of Gore. He was in one of those.
And he's a good one of those, like you said, one of those weird actors.
He's definitely out there.
You don't know what you're going to get with him.
He's done some really good stuff. Like Willard, the new Willard is an excellent film. Yeah. But like Bill said, you just don't know what you're going to get with him.
And then I went to Fay Wray.
Fay
Wray was the original Scream Queen.
Yeah, The Most Dangerous Game. Have you guys seen The Most Dangerous Game?
Yes, long time ago.
32.
I'm not sure if I've seen that.
It kind of set the mold for those crazy places people are hunted.
Gotcha.
Like Turkey Shoot, like all those ones that came later and later, or even The Hunt. The Hunt is directly based on the. But she's obviously the one from King Kong.
Right.
But she was also in Mystery of the Wax Museum in 1933. She was in The Vampire Bat with Bela Lugosi in some of these ones, and these were pre-code. So they got away with a lot more until, when Universal came in, they had to be a little bit more restrictive because when the code came in, you couldn't,
Right.
So.
It's funny that you went back that far because I just wrote down like 4 names of women that, to me made a big difference. The first one is Pamela Franklin. And I think the reason why, I had the biggest crush on her when I was a kid. And I think the reason why she's in one of my favorite movies, The Legend of Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. She also did Necromancy, and there's a movie. I say it's a new movie. It's a movie that just hit Shudder. It's called And Soon the Darkness, and she's in it. And it's funny. You talk about wanting to watch a movie just because of an actress. I'm gonna watch that movie just because she's in it.
See, and I think of.
And she was in one of my favorite films from the early era. She was in The Innocents.
Yes.
From 1961.
Yeah, she did a lot of TV stuff too. Like, I mean, she was on Love Boat and freaking Murder She Wrote.
I see she was in
Oh,
two
she's
episodes. She was in 2 episodes of Barnaby Jones.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yeah,
she
but
was
I don't
in
know why she just really the part she plays as Florence Tanner in The Legend of Hill House. I don't know, man. It just hit me.
Yeah.
You know, I love that movie, and in fact, I've got a picture of her right up there. You guys can't see it.
I was going to say, is there a reason why it's up above your head?
Well,
He likes to look
it's
like
actually
this.
it's funny. It's funny that I mentioned that because that was actually a cool find. It's actually a screen print from The Legend of Hill House. It's got Pamela Franklin and her co-star Clive Revel and Gail Honeycutt, which was another woman that I wanted to mention strictly because of this movie. You know.
I mean, the other one that came up to me, I couldn't remember her name, but have you guys seen the 1942 version of Cat People?
Cat People.
I don't think I've seen the old version.
I don't think I've
remember a version that came out like in the
81,
80s.
82.
Yeah, something like that.
Natasha
Yeah.
Kinski or
Yes.
Yep.
But the one from 1942 had Simone Simon.
And I do know that name.
Yeah, and back then you had to be a little bit more subtle as to the sexuality end of it. But that film was all about, women empowerment and sexuality and taking control, but they did it through the metaphor of the black cat.
Right.
And so she did that role pretty damn good as well.
See, and that's the thing, like for me, I think it's funny that, I'm trying not to. I don't.
Just go for it, man.
Well, I don't want to.
This is our show. We can do whatever the hell we want.
I don't want to get political. So it's not really political. It's just, it's funny to me that they talk about, like, in our world of the horror world that we're in. They talk about, oh, it's just nothing but boobs and this and that, blah blah. It's like, but you guys are like. Your favorite singers are Rihanna or freaking Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, and that's all they talk about. Is
scantily
that stuff.
clad women.
Well, not only that, but the shit they talk about, like and like we were talking about sex scenes in movies, and people freak out about it. And it's like everyone likes to have sex, everyone, and like it's part of human nature,
right?
And
it's one of our base instincts.
Exactly. And for them to kind of, I don't got a feeling, it's fact, that horror got shunned for a lot of that because they had a lot of sex in it and all that stuff. But, if you think about it, so most of your slasher movies, what is it about? Teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Older teenagers. What are you doing as an older teenager? You're fucking partying and you're having sex. That's what you're doing. That's what real life is about.
That's what I'm doing as a 50-something.
With myself.
Well, that's true, but...
I was going to say, it just looks a little different.
Yeah. And it's a little slower.
A lot different.
and it's a little slower.
And much like at 18, you're a little quicker.
Yeah. Is this slow motion? No, it's not. Sadly, no. But no, it's funny, and
Well, commercials are the same way,
right?
I mean, sex is commercialized.
But what I'm saying is, and then you get people, some of these actresses, and they're like, oh, well, we feel like we're doing this, and this. It's like, yeah, but some of them made their lives off of that, and now they shun it. Yeah. And it's kind of like, after you made your money, and you made your name, and now you're shunning it, and like it's something bad, and it's kind of like, well, whatever, I guess. It's to me, it's like if you signed up for the game, you know what you're getting into. If you don't like it, don't ever sign up for that game.
Well, let's talk about that. Barbara Hershey in The Entity.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
I'm getting a leg cramp.
We're all going to take a pause here.
Oh Jesus! And it's funny because, like, so for me, I'm younger, of course, and so the older references I don't get. Some of them I do because I know the names just from being in the horror world. But like for me, Danielle Harris.
Oh yeah,
she was one that because I loved you know.
But when you think of Danielle Harris, do you not get a bit creepy in those early?
You do. I watch Halloween 4 where she's playing little Jamie Lloyd, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
But I don't, because
down.
I'm a fucking dirty old man.
I don't,
because I know I look at her as a totally different actress nowadays.
Well, she's only 3 years older than me. Or she's only like a few years older than I am, so I don't feel that way. But I see what you're saying, But for me, that imprinted on me, like you said, with yours, that kind of imprinted on me, and so like I might not even like certain movies, but I probably would watch them, with her in it,
right?
Right. And I think it's kind of like with me too, with oh gosh, why am I drawing a freaking blank now? Swanson.
Christy Swanson?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Or what's her name? Tilda Swinton.
Yeah.
You see.
No.
I'm talking about Christy Swanson from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie.
Okay, yeah.
The movie, not the series, but the movie.
That was directed by a woman.
Oh, see, there you go. So like,
there's a really cool anthology. Sorry,
go ahead.
It's called XX.
Yes,
it's four horror movies or shorts, really, but they're all directed by female directors.
Yeah, that's Karen Kusama.
Yeah.
See,
she did The Invitation. She also did Jennifer's Body.
Oh, Jennifer's Body was great.
Good
The
movie,
Invitation wasn't too bad either. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, the 2015 Invitation, not the more recent one. Yeah. About the dinner party.
Oh, I have not watched that yet. I thought you were talking about the new one that just came out.
No.
Okay.
One from 2015 about a dinner party and friends getting together, and there's some cult elements to it.
I've seen really that. It keeps popping up in my, on my movie apps and stuff. I just haven't stopped to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I didn't even think about that. But like Megan Fox is like, I wouldn't call her a scream queen, but
she's done some cool stuff.
Right.
The last thing that I watched her in was a movie called Till Death. And
yes, I saw that.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
That was the one about escaping. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Jennifer's Body was great.
Yeah, fantastic film.
I was going to say, it's funny, Ryan. You mentioned what actress would you watch a film in just because she's in? For me, I go old school, and I get a leg cramp just thinking of Ingrid Pitt.
Oh yeah, I just saw her.
The Hammer Girls. Like there's a whole, there's a whole harem of the Hammer Girls. And if you watch The Vampire Lovers, Countess Dracula, The House That Dripped Blood.
The House that Dripped Blood. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about.
Now we're talking.
Now I know what you're talking about.
And she was also in The Wicker Man.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, the original.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
And if we're talking about The Wicker Man, those scenes with Britt Eklund. Oh,
yes.
Dancing in front of a mirror. Oh, boy.
Table starts lifting up. Oh, man.
Well, let's just stay old school here, and let's go Barbara Steele.
Barbara Steele. Now, the thing with Barbara Steele is she did Black Sunday, and then she did Pit and the Pendulum, the Corman film, and she did Castle Blood. And then she kind of takes a break, and then she does Shivers.
Yeah.
In 1975. I love Shivers. I think it's one of the most underrated horror films. Early Cronenberg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, and one of my, of course, I remember her in Black Sunday, of course, and The Pit and the Pendulum, but she did one called The Silent Scream.
Yes, Silent Scream. Vincent Price was in that, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. And then she also did, and a lot of people don't think about her with this. She was also in Caged Heat.
Caged Heat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was also she had a pretty good role in Piranha.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
With Roger Corman, yeah.
If you don't know who Barbara Steele is, if you saw her, you'd recognize her.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
She, back in when she was doing a lot of the black and white films and the Corman films and stuff, she had really long black hair and
I recently rewatched Black Sunday.
Yeah.
And that opening scene when she gets encased with the spikes. Oh,
right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
strong
Yeah, that's a good one. I actually own that movie.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, very good one. Another one I want to bring up real quick is, and I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but you'll know who I'm talking about, is Carol Omart.
Yep.
Carol Omart, the reason why I like her so much is she played Vincent Price's wife in The House on Haunted Hill.
Okay.
And she also did Spider Baby, and she was on kind of not horror, but that 77 Sunset Strip. I'm sure Bill probably remembers that. It was a show that was on TV,
Gotcha.
like when we were kids.
Yeah, yeah. She did a lot of TV work as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm just looking her up. She was in Mannix. She was in Barnaby Jones. She was in Get Smart.
She was in Barnaby Jones with Patrick Franklin or Pamela Franklin.
And she was only in one episode, so the chances of
Yeah. That would be cool, though.
That would be neat.
Sorry, I'm looking up this. You guys go ahead. I want to look up something here.
Now, if you want to go old school, the other one that's good actress, and she's still kicking around today, is Caroline Munro.
Okay.
Caroline Munro did Dracula AD.
I love that one. The 1976. Wasn't it AD 1976?
Yes. Yeah. She was also in The Abominable Dr. Phibes.
Yes.
She was in Dr. Phibes Rides Again. She was in Maniac in 1980. And she was in one of my favorite underrated films from the era, Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
Yes.
That was such a cool movie.
That was intended to be a multiple series. But Hammer at that point was going down. They were running out of money.
Yeah, they were having
didn't do as
problems.
well, and that is one I would love to see rebooted.
Yeah,
I would love.
Can you imagine what they could do with that today?
Yeah.
So there's two actresses, that one actually. So both of them I think are good actors. One of them I think is a really good actress. The other one's a good actress, but you watch it just because it's her. But they were both in one of my favorite fucking movies, and which is if you go through the fucking cast on this movie, you're like, damn, that was a fucking huge fucking movie, and that is The Faculty.
Okay, yeah.
If you actually go through the cast list, dude, I could read off the cast right now. You'd be like, holy shit! I mean, it was probably one of the most star-studded casts I've seen. Right. But Famke Janssen, I think she is not only she's a very beautiful woman, but she's an excellent actress. I think she's a very great actress.
Yeah, she was really good.
I thought you were going to say Robert Patrick.
Yeah, Famke Janssen, God, I love her. She was also in the remake of House on Haunted Hill.
Yes.
But one of my favorite movies that she was in, she did this one, I think it's called 100 Steps or something like that. Okay. Basically, she's under house arrest.
Gotcha.
And really cool film.
So like just real, I love The Faculty. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm a younger guy, so it's kind of more my genre, my world.
And this was an era when horror was not at its best.
Right.
So it really stands out.
So I mean, dude, Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, Clea Duvall, which you guys know who she is.
Yeah. That's Robert Duvall's daughter, isn't it?
Looks, I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Jordana Brewster. I mean, Usher, Famke Janssen, Selma Hayek is the other female I was talking about in this movie. You got to think about freaking Bordello, or not Bordello Blood, but freaking From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn, yeah.
Sean Hottasy, you guys know that Hattasy, you know who that is. He's freaking Robert Patrick, Jon Stewart, freaking Danny Masterson, Daniel Von Bargen. You guys know who that is. He's been in fucking everything.
Yeah.
Piper Laurie.
Yes,
really
Piper Laurie. Christopher freaking McDonald. I mean, the list just keeps going, and I'm like, holy shit, this cast is fucking
crazy.
Huge, dude.
And it's a good movie. I mean, it's
a great
good
movie.
I mean, that whole scene about getting your blood tested is a riff right off of The Thing.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But Selma Hayek. I mean, man.
Yeah.
Can you get any? She's what, 50 something now?
Yeah.
And looks fucking stunning.
I think
And-
she's one of those ones where she's in central. She was born in a country where the
I
records
can't
aren't
get
kept,
hotter than that.
Yeah.
where the records weren't kept that well, so nobody's quite sure how old she.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because man, like and everything she's been in a few horror movies and stuff like that, you know, and like she I mean freaking From Dusk to Dawn, dude, that freaking snake dancing scene.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
another beauty that you don't think about too much and correlate with horror, but she's in quite a few of them is Kate Beckinsale.
right.
I mean, she plays Celine and Underworld,
All the Underworld.
and you know,
She's freaking
yeah. She was she was I don't remember her name, but she was the lady that was with Van Helsing and the know, with Hugh Jackman, and just smoking.
Oh my
Just-
gosh, dude.
You
Jesus.
know what
And
movie
of
I
course,
just-
Pearl Harbor, and you know,
Well, horror wise
What
though.
What movie I just saw for the first time was Possession.
okay. With Sam Neill,
Yes,
yes,
with the actress Isabel Adjani.
Yes.
yes, yeah.
She looked, but she was also
Absolutely.
in Nosferatu, and she was also in Diabolique.
You know it's now I'll bring it up later. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, here we're going to go. We're going to go across the pond here. Well, I kind of did with a couple of these, but we're going to do it again. I want to talk about Catriona MacColl.
Catriona MacColl.
Catriona MacColl did a lot of Fulci films, and like she was in The Beyond, House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead. I mean, just absolutely.
Yeah, she was in that Gates. She was in that Gates of Hell trilogy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But is she still acting? Yes, she is. She was in a movie last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I remember a lot of her older stuff
Yeah.
that she did.
Yeah.
And
I think right now she's basically a working actress. She's just,
well, I mean, God, she's got to be what, in her 70s?
she was born in 54.
Okay, so yeah.
She'd be close to 70.
Yeah.
Should be close
Late
to 70.
60s, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
If you want to go old school, Julie Christie.
That name's
Julie
not
Christie
striking a bell.
was in that. Have you seen Don't Look Now with Donald Sutherland?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she was also in Demon Seed. Do you see the one where
Okay.
she got impregnated by the otherworldly thing?
Yeah, yeah.
So she did, and the other one I wrote down, even though it was only one film, Deborah Kerr from The Innocents.
Okay. Yeah.
Such a good film.
See,
God, I need to watch that.
Anybody who's never seen The Innocents from 1961,
I have probably seen it, but I don't really remember
not the
anything.
one that, not The Innocents that just came out about the Scandinavian superhero kids,
Yeah.
but the one from way back in the day, black and white, all atmospheric, fantastic film.
I might have to check that out.
and this girl here, we've talked about her before, and I'm sure everyone who's ever talked about probably women in horror have mentioned her. But as far as, and she's pretty, she's a very pretty girl, but her actressing, the way she acts is amazing, I think. And she did it excellent in this movie, and that's Jennifer Carpenter.
Oh, yeah.
And The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's acting wise, she fucking killed that shit, dude.
Honestly, the role that I enjoyed her the most in was as Dexter's sister.
Right?
If you ever watch that Dexter
series. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This dude,
But yeah,
the way
you're right. That movie,
her act, the way she acted in the movie, like, it was just fucking, I mean, amazing. The way her body, her face, like she did a lot of that she did a lot of that herself,
Yeah.
the contortion and stuff like that. Like, man, she is awesome as an actress, and I think that I'd watch a lot of stuff she's in just because I know I'm getting I'm going to get a good acting out of it. I'm not gonna have to listen to fucking shitty fucking like trying to read lines. Something I would do if I was an actor. You know what I'm saying? but she's amazing.
I would be remiss if we're going still old school and I didn't mention Edwidge Fenwick. Edwidge Fenwick, if you like your giallos, she was in All the Colors of the Dark, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, Stripped Nude for Your Killer, and then she showed up in Hostel in 2007.
Oh, okay.
She is a beauty.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't know Edwidge Fenwick, she's fantastic, but good actress. Like, I don't know if you two are fans of giallos.
I mean,
some of them I like,
but I see exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures now. So yes,
she was right up there with she was in there because she looked a certain way and the audience would appeal to her. But you don't get rehired if you're not a good actress.
Right.
And she could play her roles pretty good.
How do you spell that? F-I-N?
F-E-N-E-C-H.
Fenech. Her name is Edwidge Fenwick. Anybody who knows Italian cinema, you know who she is. And I have an affinity for giallo, so she shows up quite a bit in movies I see.
Right. I seen somebody because I follow you guys on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But I've seen some people talking about that on the on your guys' Land of the Creeps page, saying that they're trying to get into it, some of that, but they can't.
Like check out Strip Nude for Your Killer is kind of one of the more sleazier ones, but it's got a neat twist at the end.
Right.
But your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. It's a good film.
Gotcha. See, and so it's funny because I feel like horror is one of the only genres where females get just as much respect as the males do. As far as
depends on the movie you're watching.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But even that, even if you watch any other thing like action and comedy and things like that, it's always the males that usually get most of the attention. Yeah. But in horror,
we care about the final girl. We don't care about the final guy.
Yeah, I can't think of, aside from it's not really horror. It's paranormal stuff like that. It's scary, but some movies and some TV shows have the male leads that you like, oh man, I hope they do all right. But a lot of it, the final girl, that's why you get that. You get those in horror. You get your Sidney Prescotts and things like that, because women get a lot of, they get the respect out of in the horror world, I feel, especially in the slasher genres.
Well, I have always maintained that horror is the ultimate feminist film.
Right.
The woman survives. She overcomes incredible odds. Mm-hmm. She takes on all challenges. She faces adversity, and 95% of the time comes out on top.
Which is why I feel like a lot of women love horror.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how strong the women are. I mean, most guys would crumble, and they make it through. Right.
And I think too that everyone likes to be scared, of course. That's just human for some reason. We all like to be scared. But yeah, I think that a lot of women like the horror genre for the reason you just said. I think it shows how strong they can be, and that in most of the genre, women are the survivors of it all.
They're the ones that make it out.
So yeah.
Now I was going to say normally topless and covered in blood, but they make it out.
Yeah. We're not going to get into the semantics of it.
I mean, the other name that hasn't been brought up, Barbara Crampton.
Yes, Barbara absolutely.
Barbara
Reanimator.
Oh,
Reanimator.
Yes, okay.
The one I just rewatched the other day for an episode of Land of the Creeps was Body Double.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, what was the
Chopping Mall?
Chopping
Mall. What was the guy's name in Body Double? Oh my God, he was in Ghost Story and
the main actor wasn't a big actor.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah, Dick Buttkiss, you're bringing us down here. You're bringing us down.
But I mean, Barbara Crampton was also in From Beyond. She was in Castle Freak. She was in Lords of Salem.
Okay.
She was in You're Next. And one that came out a couple years ago that I really liked was Jacob's Wife. Did you guys see Jacob's Wife? With Larry Fessenden?
I started to watch that, and I was having problems getting into it, so I never have finished it.
I thought she
So-
was pretty decent in that too.
Shame on you.
Nice. I'm sorry. I just realized the movie I was thinking of was that Simple Red.
Simply Red, holding back the years.
Yeah,
Is that what you're-
exactly. Because the main guy in that film, I don't remember what his name is now.
Does it really matter though?
It doesn't. But anyway, yeah,
and I mean, if you're going to talk Barbara Crampton, you're going to go to Dee Wallace.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Dee Wallace.
Dee Wallace. The Hills
she
Have
was-
Eyes.
Oh my God, Wolfen.
E.T.
E.T. Yeah. Cujo.
Cujo. I mean,
Cujo.
the list goes on and on.
She was
and
in, she
on.
was in one of my favorite underrated ones, Popcorn.
Oh yeah.
There's a movie.
She wasn't in that very much, but she
No,
was.
Oh,
but
she's
she
in one.
was.
She was in one of my favorite ones too. I'm drawing a blank on the movie, but she was in a new
She was
movie.
in Lords of
She was
Salem.
She was on a
Yes.
new one that
She was in a
I
new
just
movie.
watched.
Yes, yeah.
Not too long
I
ago.
think you're right.
She was in. Let me look. I have it down here. She was in Three from Hell.
Okay.
She was in. Did you ever see that Christmas one, Red Christmas?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe that's the one that.
She was in that one, and she was also in. Did you see the big-
Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I watched that last
That's right,
week,
and that
she
was
in that.
the longest freaking movie that I've ever had to sit.
Did you ever
through.
see the
Yeah.
Bigfoot movie, Abominable?
I have not.
She was in that one.
Okay, she's been in all kinds of stuff. Was she in? Was she in?
She was in Critters.
Yes,
Yes.
that's the one I
Yeah.
was thinking of.
Yep.
Critters.
Yeah.
That's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like,
Well, I
Also
mean,
did
whatever-
Critters Attack.
Oh, did you? I think I may have bypassed that one.
it's like all the new Trimmers coming out.
And
Yeah, I love-
if you go from Dee Wallace, you take a trip down to see Miss Adrienne
Oh.
Barbeau.
Oh, the
yeah.
great Adrian.
Oh my God. She was probably the most gorgeous woman alive in the movie The Fog. Oh
That
my
voice,
God. She
that
just-
voice.
Oh, I love her. That and the fucking annoying wife in the fucking Crate episode in Creep Show.
Oh, Creep Show. But I mean, you forget she was also in Swamp Thing. And
You know,
the
it's
one-
funny. I think that may be one of the first things I remember her in because I went and saw that in the theater.
And do you remember when we on Phantom Galaxy did Hellblazers?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep,
That
she
one,
was
yeah.
in that too. Yeah.
And that speaking of Tony, that was a great movie. I thought that was a good movie. I thought that was a really good movie.
I picked a decent movie for us.
Yeah.
You did. You did.
Finally, you're not a loser
It was an
anymore.
accident, but hey,
There's Invaders from Mars.
Invaders from Mars.
Love that
Yeah.
freaking movie, dude.
Well, the other that just sticks out to me was Mathilda May as the space girl in Life Force.
Oh, great
That
makeup
movie
job.
is like, I mean, she's completely nude the whole movie.
What is this movie?
Life Force.
Life Force.
Force.
Toby,
Yeah, it's
Toby
got Steve
Hooper.
Railsback in it.
Yeah,
I
Toby
don't-
Hooper. Yeah.
You guys can.
Yeah,
You had
they're-
me at fully naked the whole movie.
They're you've probably seen this
I
because
probably-
it's about space vampires.
Yeah,
Okay,
space
yeah.
vampires. Yeah,
I'm a vampire head, so I probably have seen it for sure.
yeah, but it's a weird movie.
It really is.
It's out there, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Most vampire movies are. I just throw it out there just because my wife made me watch it last night because it's one of her favorite movies. We watched Queen of the Damned.
Oh yeah, Aaliyah playing.
Aaliyah. But I tell you, whoever the other, I need to look that up because I think she looked awesome in that movie. Is the lead character, the lead girl in that movie, and I don't know if she's ever been in any other horror movies. We'll look it up. Yeah, I'll let you look it up on the big computer. How about that?
Oh, Stuart Townsend. I forgot about him playing.
But who is the main actress? Her. Yep.
Marguerite Moreau.
Oh my gosh, dude! If you guys have both seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
the when she's got the buns up and And her hair. Oh my gosh, she is.
Yeah.
Oh, she was also in the Mighty Ducks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Holy shit. Going back.
Well, if you go back to Van Helsing, those 3 sexy ass vampires that come flying. Woo! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay.
The other one when I was thinking of Barbara Crampton is the one and only Linnea Quigley.
Oh yeah, you can't have a show like this without talking about her.
The great. I mean, she's in.
Look out, everybody! Trash is taking her clothes off again.
Somebody posted a meme up the other day and had a picture of her bent over in Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
And it said, "If you know this ass, you grew up."
Yeah. My favorite one is somebody made a meme. She's with the Scooby Doo gang, and like they're standing in front of her, and you can tell her shirt's down, and she's got the lipstick in her hand. And she's just.
But I mean, she was in Silent Night, Deadly Night.
No, dude. I mean, yeah.
You know, she was. Did you ever see Jack O, the Halloween?
Yes, I have seen that.
She's really good in what is it? The Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Yeah. What was the one? The like? Oh, hold on.
Oh, she's also in a film you guys liked. They did a second one of The Barn Part 2.
Oh yeah, The Barn.
Yeah. I've been waiting for that to come out. She did a movie, something about what was it? The slime bowl.
The slime. The slime bowl Ballerama. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Dave Becker talks about it a lot. I haven't seen it.
It's funny. It's not a great movie by no means, but it's not horrible either.
Right.
That is one I wanted to see. It's a tough one to get a hold of.
Yeah. It's actually, if you have Shudder, well, one thing I've learned about having a VPN is things are different in different countries.
Right.
So I know here in the United States, it's on Shudder.
Okay. I don't have Shudder. That's why.
Okay. All right.
That's why I'm looking around, and I've actually done searches for it.
It's something Adventures on the Slime Bowl Ballerama or
something like that.
Slime Ball Ballerama. I don't remember.
Let's just say
Slime Ball Sluts and the Ballerama or something. Yeah, I mean that's.
Linnea has never been shy.
Right. I mean, she's full frontal and freaking, Return of the Living Dead.
And you brought up Danielle Harris. I'm going to bring up Heather Langenkamp.
Yes.
She is, but I mean, she was also in one of those bad Hellraiser movies.
Which one?
Judgment.
Yes. Yeah.
She was also in Shocker.
Yes, with old Mitch Pileggi. Wasn't that Shocker? Mitch Pileggi was the guy that they
was he the guy they zapped?
Yeah, he was the bad guy of the movie.
The bald guy.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, you guys both probably watch it. The female Pinhead. How'd you guys feel about that?
It was okay. It was all right. It was okay. They had some decent effects for it.
Right.
And it was a neat concept. I don't know that it always linked well together. And you're right. You're right, Gerald. It is Mitch Pileggi.
See, and my thing is like, I feel like, and I kind of want to get your outlook on this, Bill. Me and JT have talked about it quite a bit. But you'll go ahead.
The Sorority Babes and the Slime Ball Bolorama is the name of that.
That's
movie.
it. Yeah.
It's actually not bad.
But
Dave likes it.
He would.
Yeah. But no, so me and JT have talked about this quite a bit. And I feel like what's your opinion or outlook on the movie situation in like Hollywood and all that stuff? Like I feel like you kind of have to go indie or Sundance, stuff like that. You have to go away from the mainstream to get good for sure, good horror. But like, what's your outlook on what's going on in the movie world right now? As far as like,
I have a couple trains of thought on that. One is that you have to understand Hollywood and the major studios are a business. They're about making money,
right?
And so, what are they doing? They reboot, they remake, They do sequels. I think it was Matt and Jackson Rawlings it was Trey Whetstone on his really good podcast, Screaming Through the Ages. And he did the top 10 horror movies. There was only one movie last year in the top 10 of moneymakers that was a standalone original idea film.
Right.
Everything else was a reboot, a reimagining, a prequel, a sequel. So Hollywood, they don't give two hoots. At a certain point, the well's going to run dry.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel?
Well, it's already starting to get that way.
Right, but I mean,
they're going to start pulling out movies from the 40s that nobody even saw the first time.
Right. You know? See, it's like, man, they're remaking Lost Boys, which get out of here, leave that shit alone. The remake.
I just saw White Men Can't Jump is getting redone.
Oh yeah, my thing is I'm wondering, is it that these directors or writers can't come up with their own great concepts?
Well, those ones are going to either Blumhouse, they're going to Full Moon type. They're self-funding it. They're crowdfunding it. I know some great independent directors.
Right.
They give them an extra $500,000, and they could make much more than what they can.
Know a few. We've interviewed a few of those.
Yeah. I know a few too, and that's the way of the business. Because if you want to get in with those 3 or 4 studios, you got to hop when they say hop. You got to jump when they say jump.
And it sucks, man. I constantly think about
you end up with inferior product.
Yeah, and you see some of these movies that have an amazing concept, but they could do so much better if they had a great fucking budget.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you reach a certain level, like Adam Green can pretty much pick his projects.
Right.
There's some of them that can
Adam
do that.
Green needs to quit fucking with our classics.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
But they must be making money because he's making them.
Well,
see, that's the thing.
That last one didn't.
I think it made enough money. I mean, it covered its cost, kind of deal.
Right.
Well, my thing too, even with that. So, and this isn't horror related, but I grew up watching Ninja Turtles and stuff, and now they're redoing Ninja Turtles and they're making them female turtles.
Yeah, I put an article out there. Here's the question I have for you guys. It's not horror related, but what happened to the comedy?
Right.
What happened to a comedy film? A flat out comedy film.
The last great comedy.
We're getting ready to get one. History of the World Part 2.
Yeah.
I looked at my list of 2022 films because we do on Phantom Galaxy non-horror list. I only had one film in my top 40, and that was Jackass.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, so the last great comedies to me that I seen were Superbad, fucking hilarious. That movie is so fucking funny. Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder is so fucking hilarious.
See, to me, the last flat out comedy that made me laugh hard I saw in the theater was Borat.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
And that was 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, see, have you seen Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, it's been a while. That's about the take on the guys in the jungle and all that.
Dude, it's so fucking hilarious. And Superbad is fucking super funny too. There's been, there's a movie called This Is 40. And it's got Paul Rudd and one of my favorite actresses in the whole world. I think she's fucking hilarious. God dang it, what is her name? I don't even know her name, but I think she's funny. She's a real petite, blonde woman. She's been in everything. She was in This Is 40. She plays the blonde chick's all drunk and she pukes on them. And she's like, we can still have sex though.
But I mean, could they make a film like Funny Farm nowadays?
They can't. You can't do anything nowadays. And that's my whole point. That's my whole point is that what I was getting at is I feel like they're still trying to keep these places alive and these movie production companies alive, but they're putting out inferior products.
Like if I see an ad for another MCU movie,
Leslie Mann.
Yes, exactly.
I've never been I've never been a fan. I don't watch them. I don't watch them.
I do like Guardians of the Galaxy because it's funny.
Yeah,
Guardian of the Galaxy is really funny. I love Chris Pratt too. I like it.
But again, they're all about making them. And the other beef I have with Hollywood is why does every movie have to be 2.5 hours?
Right.
What happened to the 85-minute movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you got to set aside your whole evening just to watch a movie. Why can't you just watch a quickie in and out 90-minute film?
Right. And that's the whole point with it too, is that like when you used to have like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour film, it was like, holy shit, that movie's 3 hours.
It was like epic. Yeah.
And it was a great movie.
Right.
Like I can sit through that when I watch Das Boot. It's a,
right.
I can sit through that for, The Godfather.
Lord of the Rings, actually.
Well, yeah.
I just watched those. I think
I'm not going to sit through that for a 3 hour interpretation of somebody's feelings. I just don't want to.
100%.
Right.
And that's kind of what I was getting at, is that like, I'm scared, but I'm not. I'm in between. Like I'm scared and I'm not scared, because you have like these independent films and these TV series that are coming out. Mm-hmm. I think what I'm saying, I think they're getting away from the big budget movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you look at, like streaming services like Netflix and Amazon and like even Hulu and stuff, they're releasing a lot of series stuff.
Right.
My wife and I have gotten into some of those. I mean, there's some really good ones on Netflix right now. In fact, we're watching one right now called Red Rose that's been very bizarre. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, most of them are going to these, let's film 10 hours worth of stuff and chop it up into 10 episodes,
Like you look at some of the movies in the 50s, some of them were an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
You could tell a story in an hour. Now they did that because they could get 2 or 3 movies in that time.
Right.
But I mean,
along
why
with
do you
the
have to go?
cartoon.
Yeah, along with the cartoon, popcorn break, go get your jubes, whatever you're gonna do. But why does every movie have to be some epic? Like even an action film. Why does an action film have to be like? I didn't want to sit through the Avatar 3 hours.
I watched that, and man, it was good, but
one?
eventually you're kind of like.
See, I didn't like the first one, so
I watched the first one at IMAX in 3D, and it was fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
But it's one of those movies where I won't watch it again.
Right.
I seen it the way it was supposed to be seen, and to me, it's just not that great of a film.
I mean, unless it flies by. I found Terrifier flew by.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was 2.5 hours.
Yeah. See,
it wasn't an in-depth. We didn't get into the inner sense of the characters.
Right.
Well, and if the characters were interesting, it'd be a different story. That's what I'm saying.
Terrifier was 2.5 hours long.
It was a long one. It was over 2.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's. I'm hoping though. So what I was gonna say is
Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2.
Oh, Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 was an amazing movie.
I'm hoping,
amazing.
But it was 2 hours and change.
I'm hoping that that money that these big production companies were getting will go. I hope they somehow work it in with these indie films, because there's a lot of great indie films.
If the big studios were smart, all the money they're making off, Ant-Man and whatever.
Right.
Go out and get yourself a stable of 7 to 10 directors, writers that can come up with original ideas, put them in a space for a year, write your hearts out, and then get the best of that.
Right. And but the thing is, it's just they're scared to put
it's hard.
out.
Well, it's hard because you look at all the things. Look at all the movies that we have now. It's like you'd be hard pressed to come up with an original idea. You would be stealing something from several. Well, and
that's
movies,
but that's the same. That's the same thing with fucking music.
But that's exactly. That's more, I guess, inspiration.
I mean, the thing is, there's this thing in Hollywood where there's only 5 types of stories. There's your inspirational story, there's your love story, there's your overcoming odds, there's your horror story, whatever. There's only 5, and they're all variations of those 5.
Right.
But it's how original can you get in your variations of those 5?
Yeah. How do you do it? Exactly. And that's like with James Wan and The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie, dude. I'm interested and see. There's, like I said,
there's a new Insidious coming out this year.
This year looks good. I'm hoping that it comes and everyone goes out and they, watch these movies and pay the money. That way, horror can keep on getting that. Because
I'm putting all my money on Cocaine Bear.
I just saw a trailer for that before I came down. I can't believe they're running that in theaters.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta's last movie before he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
I was going to say he's not inside the bear suit, is he?
Speaking of that, I was going to say at the beginning of the show, it kind of sucks. We've lost, two people this week, and it's funny. I had my notes wrote. We lost Raquel Welch this week, and we also lost Stella Stevens. And I wrote that note on. I was writing some notes earlier today, and then I get on my phone. Richard Belzer died.
Richard
today.
Belzer just died.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Crazy.
I remember him from comedy from the 80s.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was irreverent back then. Like,
yeah, he was hilarious.
He's from the Jerry Seinfeld era of comedians. Gilbert Gottfried, like that pack of people. Yeah, because he was 78.
Yeah.
But what was the crime show? Was he on? He was on one of those
CSI. No, I'm sorry, Law and Order.
No, he was. Yeah, as my mom calls it, the Law and Order pervert show. Where it's always it's always a rape or
it's a special victims unit. And he was
SVU,
I loved him as an actor.
Yeah.
Now I know we're way.
And it
off.
was funny because I always saw it. I'd see him on that show, and it's like, God damn, I remember this guy doing comedy back in the '80s. And that's how I always thought about him.
But I stopped watching it because how many times can you see stories of abused women? Like, it just got to the point where, okay, one husband slaps his wife around. The next one is a human trafficking, and then I just I
get tired of seeing
those stories have a place, but not every week.
Right. Oh, dude, we just started watching today, actually. As a matter of fact, and we're like 3 or 4 episodes in. We started watching Carnival Row.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that, Bill? It's actually really fucking cool.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Is it what service is it streaming?
Netflix.
Oh, is it
Prime.
Netflix? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Prime. There's actually I remember my wife and I watching something like that last year.
Yeah.
Because when I saw it pop up today, I was like, didn't we already see that?
No, it's actually really good, man. I've been watching. I'm like, shit, because my wife loves that type of stuff, and she was like, hey, watch this with me. I'm like, all right, I'll sit down. She watches a lot of shit with me. I have to watch a lot of stuff with her. But I'm like, oh shit, this is actually pretty cool. And it's got the lead guy in it is freaking Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
I not to take us off, but I just saw Infinity Pool.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I was going to bring her up. Mia Goth is another one that I think in the next few years she's going to explode.
Yeah, she's fantastic. But I was blown away by the film. I loved the film.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
The last 15 minutes.
It's bizarre.
The last 15 minutes, I thought, but because I felt they just it fell off. But up until then, I was right in there.
Yeah. I don't think Ryan has seen that yet. No, so we can't talk about it too much.
Yet. I have not.
It's sexy. It's trippy. It's a what the fuck film.
Right.
Yeah.
It's got all the and it's got that Brandon Cronenberg, sense. If you like his previous film, you'll like this. It's a strong contender this year.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
There's going to be a lot. I mean, honestly, though, like we've talked about it on ours. If you listen to that episode, you know what I'm talking about. Like the freaking Evil Dead Rise is. I am so beyond amped for that fucking movie.
And it's funny when you guys were talking about. You were like, you watched the trailer. I've avoided it.
Oh yeah.
I don't watch trailers.
Right.
I want to be shocked, surprised, either pleasantly or unpleasantly. I just want to go in blind.
I do when I'm super, super excited about something. Like I say that, but I avoided the Halloween trailers like the plague.
Right.
And
look how they ruined that.
And look how that turned out. So now I'm going to go back to watching trailers.
Yeah. No, but Evil Dead Rise is going to be so God, I cannot wait.
Well, speaking of trailers, Trailer Park of Horror.
Right, yeah.
That's an interesting film.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I love that movie, actually.
If we're gonna go back to the women, how do we bring up Lynn Shay?
Lynn Shay.
Oh yeah, you can't talk about women in horror without talking about her, and she's been doing this for a long time. I don't remember what her first movie was, but she was in the 1984 Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
She was, and she was in Critters.
Critters.
Okay.
Again.
Okay.
I love it. I love Critters.
Go ahead.
No, go. I was just going to say she's done some really off the wall stuff too. Like what was it, Wish Upon or something? or The Apartment or something like that. I don't know. She's done some really bizarre
She was
stuff.
in one that I really like. Have you seen Dead End from 2003, where the family's coming home on Christmas and they veer off a different path?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen that one.
Well worth your
Dude.
watch. Dead End, 2003.
Yeah, because I love her, man.
And she was also had a really fun role in the 2005 kind of remake, 2001 Maniacs.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. I have seen that.
You can tell she was having fun with that one.
You think about her scene in Kingpin.
Well, think about her scene in Something About Mary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, man,
Lord.
that's freaking. Oh, and someone we haven't mentioned yet, but of course, in one of the greatest horror movies ever made, she was young in it, but still one of the greatest movies ever made. Linda Blair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you talking about Hell Night?
Hell Night. Hell Night.
I just watched that fucking movie literally 6 months ago.
Hell Night is a fun watch, man.
It's a good film, not the goriest, but
Right,
well,
exactly.
It's yeah, you know, it's a, but no, like her in The Exorcist still gives me fucking nightmares.
I hope and pray that they give her a little cameo in the new one coming out.
Right.
That would be so cool.
Yeah,
she's still really involved with a lot of stuff. She does a lot of charity work now.
Who's directing that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
And that's a movie. That's going to be.
I hadn't even looked, to be honest with you.
That is a complete remake and movie, right?
No, but isn't it a direct sequel?
Yes, it's a direct sequel of.
Okay.
So throw away 2 and 3 that was made, and then just go from original
to that.
Yeah, you know, kind of like they did with the Halloweens.
Right. But they really fucked up the ending of it. No.
Yeah. Oh, that's a David Gordon Green is directing that.
Oh, is it David?
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
there you
gonna
go.
be
That
gonna be
sense.
decent.
Yeah. I mean, if you talk Lynn
Holy
Shay,
shit, Ellen Burstyn's coming back. For
yeah,
that.
I heard they're giving her a small cameo. I don't even know if it's a cameo. Maybe it's a full role. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. She's number
getting
one
up
on
there.
the star list here.
She'd be what? She'd be close to 80, I would think.
Oh yeah, she's probably.
Yeah.
She looked good though.
She's a good
Not
actress.
bad.
She's a really good actress.
For her age, she looks good.
For her age.
We're going down.
You know, they don't tell us. Oh, they don't tell us how old she is.
You
Oh.
never ask.
Yeah. No, no birthday, no nothing.
That's why we got to keep it.
Huh. Wow.
You never know.
I mean, the other actress, if you're going to go Lynn Shay, I always connect her with Toni Collette.
Yes. Now, my wife loves her. Absolutely loves her. And it's not because of horror, but she's done a lot of cool horror movies.
Yeah.
You know?
She did, Sixth Sense, Fright Night, Krampus.
And, of course, all of our favorite movies, Hereditary.
Good.
Watch out for the pole.
I hate that. I hate that movie. Sorry. I got to say that.
I don't mind it. It's just the ending is, what the fuck.
The whole movie was just kind of, I almost fell. Actually, I think I did actually fall asleep.
She was also in Velvet Buzzsaw, if you ever saw that one.
Velvet?
Oh, yeah. She's in something new that just came out that my wife and I have been.
Well, she was in the Knives Out.
Oh, yeah. No, this is something. Oh, it's like.
Yep.
It just hit one of the streaming services.
You brought
I don't
this
remember.
podcast to a complete halt.
Yeah, sorry.
I hope you're happy with yourself.
It gives me a chance just to ramble on.
Well, hell yeah. That's why we're here. We're
Song,
rambling.
going round and round.
Ramble on.
What about Jenny Ortega?
Oh, my God. We can't talk about her.
Yeah,
because I'm telling you right now,
I'm stuck
the whole
in this
time I
room
was
with him.
watching that Wednesday series, I felt like a pervert.
You are. So,
Well.
yeah.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega is, she's got some cool stuff coming her way. You know, I just lost it was just my headphones that I lost.
I liked her in
Check that
Studio.
out.
I liked her in Studio 666.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I really liked her in X. Of course, she played a fantastic part in Wednesday. She's got something. Oh, she's in the new Scream.
Oh, the Scream coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good, too. I love the original Scream. That movie's so great, I think.
She was also in The Babysitter, Killer Queen.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot she was in that. Both of those movies were really good.
Pretty cool. I liked them. I liked them.
Who was the main actress in that? She was fucking smoking hot too. Who was that?
My son, we were strolling through movies and he's like, Dad, can we watch that one? I'm like, no, we can't watch that one.
I will watch that one. You cannot.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's time for bed. Dad, it's 4:00 in the afternoon. Go to sleep.
It's Samara Weaving.
Samara Weaving. Yeah. Well, I mean, Samara Weaving, Ready or Not.
Right.
Yes.
Mayhem. Have you seen Mayhem?
I think I have.
That's the one that's got the guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. She was also in a bunch of episodes of Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh, I'm watching that right now too. I'm trying to catch. That was such a great series. I love it.
Ready or Not was shot down the road for me. It's a good film. What about Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Of course,
absolutely.
Of course, I'm a vampire freaking fanatic, and I absolutely love Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I got to tell you what we're watching right now. We're watching a series called Wolfpack, and she's the lead investigator for the arson unit.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
How does she look?
Dude, and she still looks amazing.
Well, what's crazy? So
Amazing.
I've actually talked to because like I watch a lot of or listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, and actually she's still married to
Freddie Prinze
Jr. And Freddie Prinze Jr. is a cool motherfucker, dude. If you look at so his dad was a comedian.
Has he stopped acting? Does he act anymore?
Yeah, he don't act, man. Really, he has a podcast and shit. But like, so his dad was Freddie Prinze. He was an comedian.
He killed himself, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like,
he was
Chico and the Man.
Chico and the Man.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And but Freddie Prinze Jr. is a fucking cool dude, man. If you ever get a chance to listen to some of his interviews and shit, he's a really cool motherfucker. And him and Sarah Michelle Gellar are still together, and like they're just some real down to earth people. So, and he was in horror, kind of. I Know What You Did Last Summer, shit like that. Like that was, you consider that slashers.
Yeah.
But like, I like that dude a lot, and I love Sarah Michelle Gellar because I was a huge I'm a huge vampire fan, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer is one of my favorites. And then that TV series had great fucking. The intro song was great, all that shit. It was my era.
Well,
when I grew up.
It's funny talking about her. I told you we're watching this Wolfpack show, and that's what it's about. It's about a pack of werewolves.
Oh, I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on Hulu.
What's it called?
I think it's called Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. I'm going to check that out.
They don't have all the episodes out.
Right.
They release a new episode every week, but it's been pretty good.
But yes, definitely Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she was in one of the Screams.
She was in The Grudge. The Grudge one.
The Grudge. Yeah.
The Grudge.
Yeah, man. For sure. And I think she's a really good actress.
The other one I need to bring up that she's a great actress. She looks nice. She brings it every time. Is Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
And she did a lot when she was a kid.
She played Carrie Wright in the new Carrie movie.
Got you. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But she was in the Amityville Horror, the one with Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
She was in Wicked Little Things. She was in the remake. She did Let Me In.
Right. Okay. Yep,
she was in Suspiria, the 2018 version.
Oh yeah. Which was just as fucked up as the first one.
And she was in Shadow in the Clouds in 2020. I saw that one too. She's one that she'll pop in and out of the genre, but she has no qualms doing horror.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
right.
yeah.
Like she doesn't look. Some people put their nose down on it. She doesn't.
Well, when we were talking about The Babysitter, it immediately made me think of Bella Thorne.
Yes.
Bella Thorne has been playing in a bunch of stuff too here lately.
Has she got something coming up?
Check her OnlyFans.
Check her OnlyFans. She's got something coming out called Divinity.
Oh, okay.
But she was, in American Horror Stories. Of course, she was in both the Babysitter movies.
Yeah, those are good.
God, she's been in a ton of stuff.
Killer Queen.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, dude, those are cool, man.
Infamous. She's in one called "Fuck Me, Fire Truck." Nice. I want to see that. I want to see that shit.
That's probably off for OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What's that one?
Goat. So, new movie coming out that, man, I am dying to see, and it's called Kill Her Goats.
Kill Her
Dude,
Ghost?
if you have Kill Her Goats, Goats.
Interesting.
If you have not seen the trailer for this, watch it.
Okay. Well, not you, Bill, because
there's going to be a lot of TNA in it, but I'm gonna give it up that Kane Hodder is in this film.
Kane.
Oh, dude, I can't believe I didn't bring this up when we did our 2023.
What a loser!
It comes out, I think, next week or week after next. Going to be a cool movie. Here's one fairly newer one that we haven't really talked about too much, and that's Naomi Watts.
Oh,
what is she?
Well, Naomi Watts was in The Ring.
Right.
She also did that movie called The Ward that John Carpenter did.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, The Ward. Yeah, that was. Yeah. I remember that.
She was also in the new King Kong movie.
Yep.
Man, she's been in a ton of stuff.
Good Night, Mommy.
Good Night, Mommy.
Yep.
Good Night, Mommy. The other one we didn't bring up when we were talking about Sorority House Massacre is not Sorority House Massacre. The slumber one. Brinks Stevens.
Brinks
Stevens was in Slumber Party Massacre, and it was her first big film. And she has done at least 150 to 200 horror films.
Holy crap!
Yeah. She's done a whole whack. Like JT, she is in 2022, Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bolorama Part 2.
Yes,
there it is.
Nice.
Say Girls from Beyond.
Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah, she's been in so many, but she's one of those working actress.
Beyond the Gates of Hell.
See, and those are the ones who should get a lot of the appreciation from the horror world. For sticking to the genre and putting that stuff out there.
Oh, and Don't Trick or Treat Alone. I watched.
Well, I know she's probably been in a lot of other stuff too, but
and she was in an uncredited scene in Three Amigos.
Love that movie.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, she's been in a ton of shit, dude.
She's been in so many movies.
Look at all of these freaking movies.
She was in Jack O.
She did like, I don't know, 40 movies in 2020. No, not quite.
She was in a movie. She was in a movie I saw.
House of Pain.
A full moon film called Trophy Heads.
Ooh,
it wasn't a bad.
Ooh, Death House. Death House was another one of those movies. If I remember right, that's got Dee Wallace in it. Isn't that the movie I'm thinking of?
Does that have Kane Hodder as well?
Kane Hodder, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony Todd.
Bill Moseley.
Yep.
Bill Moseley.
There's all just a bunch of horror
Dee
guys
Wallace.
got together.
Yeah. Gunnar Hansen was on that.
I have got to find 2016's Hot Tub Massacre.
I haven't seen that.
Sid Haig was in it.
Sid Haig was in it.
Wow.
Barbara Crampton.
Holy
we just
shit.
talked about her. There's actually a movie that my wife showed me a preview for, and it came out a few years ago, and I'd never even heard of it. And it had Kane Hodder and Bill Moseley, and oh my God.
Here he comes.
Oh, it's funny. You know how if you go to her IMDb, upcoming, people have 3 or 4. Brink Stevens has 33.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Hell yeah. Pay me my money. That's hilarious.
I think she might be beyond the age where she shows her goods. So she's there for her acting.
Hey, I don't.
Smothered was what I was thinking of. Look at this movie. I'd never even heard of this. This came out in 2016. It's called Smothered.
Smothered. Is that Brink Stevens?
And it's crazy. Wait till you see the cast on this. You got Kane Hodder, Bill Moseley,
and that's it. John Kaiser.
And that's it. John Kaiser is in this. It's a bunch of like the old John Schneider. John Schneider's the one that actually did this movie, and he contacted all his horror buddies.
That's cool.
And they got together and did this film, and I cannot find it.
Huh.
I've been wanting to watch it. It's called Smothered. And of all things, my wife brought this up to me. She happened to catch the preview somewhere.
I want to check that out. Was that Malcolm who? Was that scroll up? Up. Malcolm Denaire. That guy looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
But Dan Rhodes.
But yeah. Anyway, we're off our woman subject.
We're
here.
way off. Yeah.
You know.
What about
Happens.
PJ Souls?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. You see anything you like? Yes, I
she's
do.
She's in Carrie. She's in Halloween, and then she was in The Devil's Rejects, and then she
Rock
was in
and Roll
Halloween.
High School.
She was in Halloween 2018.
Yeah. She also did Rock and Roll High School.
PJ
Oh, did she?
Or,
With the Ramones?
No. Oh, was that it? Or was it?
No,
Metal High.
Am I thinking wrong?
Heavy Metal High.
And the other one that goes way back that I thought of, once I'd done my list, and because of such a good actress, you don't think of her, but Betty Davis.
Oh, Stripes.
Oh, yeah.
Betty
Yeah.
Davis.
Oh, Rock and Roll. Yeah, Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and Roll High School.
She played Riff Randall. Very cool movie, especially if you're into music, because there's a lot of the Ramones are in this.
Yeah.
Very cool. And then I forgot about her being in Stripes. She got all sexed up by Bill Murray on the stove.
Oh, that's true. But Betty Davis was in Burnt Offerings.
Yeah, it's a great film.
She was in Dead Ringer in 1964. One of the very first horror films I remember watching. My dad having me watch Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah.
In 1980, if you've seen Watcher in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
She was also in Return from Witch Mountain in 1978. So here she is. She's an Academy Award style film actress, but she's not afraid to do a horror film. And that's what I like about actresses like that.
Right.
Yeah,
because it brings notoriety to the genre.
It does.
Yeah.
And, it's one of these things where, you're not too good for it. If
Right.
the role's good, you do it.
Right.
And she was at the stage of her career where she was in her 80s. She's like, what the fuck? I'll just do whatever I feel like doing, And,
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well,
Exactly.
look at somebody like Gina Davis. Gina Davis. She did all these films as when she was younger, and then she gets cast as in The Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
Fantastic. One of my favorite remakes.
What was the one that she did? It was Earth Girls Are Easy.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah, not what it sounds like, but it kind of is. A fucking cool movie, man. Jim Carrey's actually in that.
Right. And it's funny because you said that, how these famous actresses come in there and they do horror and it, shows appreciation. Yeah. And then you got some who made their name in horror and don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Don't want you to talk about it with them. It blows my mind, man.
It's funny. We were doing our chat, and I said I'm doing this research, and Ryan, you said you were watching, certain scenes. I won't go into what you said. But I immediately thought of Tracy Lords.
Oh yeah,
because she did do a few horror. She was in the Tommyknockers.
Right.
She was in that film. I don't know if you ever saw Excision in 2012. Yeah. She was also in Shock 'em Dead from 1991. So
she could have played she could have played a lot of Linnea Quigley's roles.
Yeah, she could have.
I could see her in Return
of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
She wasn't a bad actress, but because she'd done 300 porn films.
Yeah, right. Even a lot
she got blackballed.
Well, quite a few of those,
however you want to put
quite
it.
a few of those, she was like 15 years old.
Yeah, she was underage. Nobody wanted to touch her, but I remember her on a few episodes of Roseanne.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
She worked in the diner or something.
Oh well, and one of my wife's favorite movies and my sister's favorite movies, Crybaby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. I wouldn't say she became an A-list actress or anything, but she was able to carve out a role outside of adult films.
Yeah. Well, and she was a good actress too, though. I think she could have played those parts very well.
Yeah.
I mean, going that way, what is it? Zombie Strippers with Jenna
Jameson. Yeah. Yeah. We just actually watched that not too long ago. Well, Well, okay, I guess that was a couple of years ago.
That was a couple of years ago. We did a whole episode on that one.
Yeah,
But
we did
that's
an
a
episode on
low
that.
budget film that has more names in it than you'd realize.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Robert Englund.
A lot of
Yeah.
that happens a lot, man. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then there's Marilyn Burns. You know,
Marilyn Burns.
Texas Chainsaw,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eaten Alive. She played Linda Kasabian in Helter Skelter, the made-for-TV movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then she milked all the Texas Chainsaw Next Generation, and then the Texas Chainsaw 2013. Like, she lived off that role, but
Yeah.
she wasn't afraid to embrace it.
Dude, Jessica Biel and freaking.
Oh my God, that TCM remake.
Well, I was going to bring her up.
Jesus.
Would you watch that movie because of her, or would you watch it? But it is a decent film. It is.
I think it's a good
film.
That's what I was going to say. Here's my deal with that. There's not too many remakes that I really, really enjoy, but I enjoy that film.
Yes, I like that movie.
and
a
it's
lot.
not because of Jessica Biel.
Right.
I mean, she helps
A lot.
but it's not because of her. It's really weird. She was in that series, The Sinner.
Mhm.
She was in the first season of that, I think it
Right.
was. I wasn't really all impressed with her on that.
I just imagine her and freaking. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the other actress, if you're kind of going that way, who did an incredible remake and is a good-looking woman and is a great actress, is Jane Levy
Yes, absolutely.
with Evil Dead.
Evil Dead remake.
Oh God,
Yeah.
that is such
Yeah.
a great freaking.
That is a fantastic film.
She did a phenomenal job in that Don't Breathe too.
Yeah. She was
Yes.
also in Castle Rock, the
Yeah.
made-for-TV.
Mhm.
Man, all I'm going to tell you, Bill, I know you're not going to watch it, but I'm telling you, Evil Dead Rise is going to be so freaking great.
Oh, I'll watch it. I just ain't watching a trailer.
Well, no, the trailer,
Yeah.
not
Yeah, the trailer's
trailer.
got us all hyped up for it.
Man, that movie, cannot wait.
And they only show you one scene, and it's in the kitchen.
But I mean, Evil Dead 2013, the last 15
Yes.
minutes, it's just raining blood. It is
Yeah.
raining. There's that scene where her leg
Raining
is caught
blood.
when
Come on,
when her
Scott.
foot is caught under the truck.
No,
Yeah.
her
You gotta
hand.
pull her hand.
Yeah,
You gotta
her hand
pull
is
it
caught.
out,
yeah.
Yep.
and then it's literally just oozing
Shove it
like
into the
it's
fucking
just-
chainsaw.
Oh,
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
fantastic!
Yeah, it's funny. They that movie up to that point, they had used more blood in that movie than any other movie, and it was something like 500,000 gallons of blood. Or
I mean, the
something is what they
only
used.
other
It was
movie
crazy.
scene that would rival that would be Dead Alive.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Was that the one where they were driving the lawnmowers over?
Yes, and just carving.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and Bruce Campbell said that this new one, he's like, this is probably my favorite one I've ever seen. He was a really big fan of the remake.
Yeah.
And he said that this one coming
Oh, he
out,
had his cameo at the end.
Well, did they give him a cameo or some kind of role in this one?
I don't know, but he said he came out and said that this is probably one of his favorite ones he's ever seen.
Yeah.
He
That's
said
cool.
it looks awesome. So I
can't wait.
cannot wait, dude. It looks like it's going to be amazing. It's my
Can't wait.
there's a lot of great stuff coming out in 2023, but it's one of my it's the one that's got my attention.
What about Miss Alicia Cuthbert?
Yes. Yes.
What's she in?
Well,
House of Wax,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
and she was in that one that came out last year, The Cellar.
mhm.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
that's a really good one.
She's also been on that series, The Ranch.
Gotcha.
She was actually the first thing I remember her in was a movie called The Girl Next Door.
Yes, the girl
Yes,
next door.
and she was
yes.
just absolutely gorgeous. In
yeah,
that.
the one about she's
The
not
kid.
exactly what she thought what
Yeah.
you think she is.
yeah,
She's exactly what you hope she would be.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, man, there's somebody I was just thinking of, but
Oh, that's hilarious.
you said that name, and I went, "Oh,
all the blood went somewhere.
oh,
That's what
I know,
happened.
I know who I was going to talk about. The now, not so much back then, but now you have to talk about, and it's two women that I'm going to talk about, and that's Vera Farmiga and her
Yes.
sister Tessa Farmiga. Vera Farmiga, she's done all the Conjuring movies,
Mhm.
and her sister has done a lot of stuff. She's done a lot of TV show stuff, but then she was also in The Nun.
Mm.
I think she's going to be in The Nun 2. I think I need to look at that. I'm not positive on that, but she's been in some very cool stuff here lately. She just did something. We are the ghosts of the castle, or something like that, where her and her sister are locked in this castle. It was a pretty decent movie. If you got to read between the lines to get what's going on,
Right?
But
the two that I always have linked together are Courtney Cox and Nev Campbell.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But I mean, again, that comes. We were talking about The Faculty, late '90s, wasn't a lot coming out.
Right.
These ladies basically, with Drew Barrymore in the beginning of the first one, kind of brought the horror from, just barely on the surface to way back up.
100%, I'm with you, and that's more my John. That was more of my time.
Yeah,
and and we've talked about it before. Scream is such a great film, and it really, like you said, it kind of brought back horror, and not only did it bring back horror, but it also fucking just showed the love of horror as a horror movie about horror movies, and it really is like a fanboy, horror fanboy movie. And
what I like about it is it's self-deprecating. It makes fun of itself, but at the same time, it celebrates it.
Right.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely, because they've got all the tropes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I can't tell you enough how much I love The Faculty. I absolutely love that movie.
This is a little off topic, but a film that came up the other day that I forget where one of the groups, Cherry Falls.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I like Cherry Falls.
Yes, that's a good movie. Yeah,
and that's from that era.
Right.
98, 99, 2000, 2001.
I want to say I just watched that not even like a month ago.
Huh.
I don't think there's no nudity, and there's not a lot of gore.
I'm out.
But Jay Moore does a good job with it.
What's her name? Who I think is really good looking, and was in fucking Ginger Snaps, and she is in Freddy vs. Jason.
Lily Sobieski. Yeah.
Is it Lily or is it Lila? Is it
Lila or
She was in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
Too. She's in. Oh my goodness, son. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking up. Yeah, Ginger Snaps. Yeah.
She's a lot of. Yeah, she looks good. And
Ginger Snaps was Emily Perkins and Catherine Isabel.
Oh, Catherine Isabel is who you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Catherine
I'm horrible at names.
Yeah.
Hey, I can remember bodies and faces. I'm horrible with names.
She was also in American Mary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's something else.
She's still acting. She was in Night of the Animated Dead in 2001. It must have been like an animated version of Night of the Living Dead.
I'm gonna check that one out.
Maybe.
I haven't even heard of that one. Interesting. I'll have to write that one down.
Interesting.
Put it in my spank bank. Oh, but yeah, I mean, there's just so
there's
so many, and then
so many women. I don't even remember the girl's name, but the Oriental girl that was in the coffin and Night of the Demons.
Oh,
we got to give it up for her.
Oh, wow. If we're going for bodies,
if we're going for bodies, I'm going for Alyssa Milano and Embrace of the Vampire.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Asian girl that was in that movie. We should really give her props, but she's amazing. In Night of the Demons, or is it Demon Night?
No, Night of the Demons.
That was right. Yeah,
Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons. Man, wow. When she raised up out of that coffin, I was like,
wow. That was probably my generation's most paused moment.
Whew. Well, if we're talking about that, it's not horror, but for Phantom Galaxy, I went back and I watched Malibu Express, the Andy Sedaris film. Have you guys seen
I haven't seen that.
Oh, the guy, it's kind of like an action takeoff from the mid 80s, but he's kind of like your wish.com version of Magnum PI.
Nice.
And he drives a DeLorean, and everywhere he goes, someone wants to sleep with him. They're losing their tops. And
story of my life.
Then you get some some really bad action scene. And then you go back to, it's
hilarious.
But if I'm going to go back old school, I got to give it up for Tippi Hedren.
Yes, absolutely.
Tippi Hedren from The Birds.
I actually have a cat named after her.
Oh, did Tippi or Hedren?
Tippy is her name.
But then she was also in that film from 1981, Roar, where the lions, and there were actually somebody. Well, I think the lion tamer died.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I listened to a podcast. They were talking about that movie.
Yeah, but then she was also in episodes of Tales from the Dark Side and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. And apparently in 1994, they did a made-for-TV version, The Birds Part 2. Like they made I don't know.
See, I wouldn't mind seeing a remake of The Birds. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
See what instead we're going to get a remake of Children of the Corn.
I haven't watched the preview yet. So.
It's supposed to be a reimagining. I think that they're kind of like restarting it.
Yeah.
I heard
without Malachi, I really didn't want to watch anymore.
Yeah.
My buddy's got a kid who's freaking redheaded freckle kid, looks just like that dude. And every time I see him, I'm like, it's Malachi. and his dad starts laughing his ass off. Like,
and I mean, the other female that I didn't write down or anything is Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. Man. Well, I don't want to get into that.
Keep both hands above the table.
Well, no. No, there would be no hands underneath the table for her, but she did, of course, the work she did on The Shining was just.
And apparently Kubrick was just a prick with her.
Yeah.
He would torment her. He would get her in such a psychological state that when she did her role in her scenes where she was on edge, she was literally on edge.
Yeah.
Like he'd make her do a role, like a scene 63 times. Like by the end of it, she's just like she's literally afraid to talk.
Yeah.
She'd have a whole Virginia Slim, nothing but ash.
Yeah.
And then she went and did all.
The most suspenseful thing about that movie was the ash hanging off her cigarette, off a Wendy's cigarette.
Yeah, but to go from that to be with Robin Williams as Olive Oil.
Olive Oil, yes.
Oh,
man, I loved that movie when I was a kid. I can't tell you how many times I watched that.
Apparently the set that was on, it was, I don't know, some Greek island or something. They kept the set there. So the locals had this set that, for years and years and years of that seaside town or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. There's so much. I mean, women have done.
We could go on forever.
Women have done and raised a lot for.
I mean, I can't end the episode without bringing up Verna Fields. Do you gentlemen know who Verna Fields
Verna
is?
Fields.
No, I don't think so.
Verna Fields won the Oscar for editing Jaws.
Oh, okay.
In 1976.
Editor of Jaws, right there. It goes.
Yeah.
For a female in an extremely male-dominated profession in the mid-70s, editing Robert Shaw getting chopped up by Brucey.
That's
Good
awesome.
on her.
Oh, shit. She did American Graffiti, too.
Another one of my favorite movies.
She was fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the other one I was going to bring up is Julie Corman, Roger's wife.
Yeah.
Who ended up having to produce all kinds of films. She did Saturday the 14th.
Great movie.
She did Chopping Mall. She did The Nest. She did Sharktopus.
Sharktopus.
But she also did Brain Dead. And all kinds of them, like all those caper films, like Big Bad Mama, and all those Roger Corman films from the mid 70s.
Mm-hmm.
She produced like over 50 of them.
Oh my God!
Awesome.
That's crazy.
So,
it truly was a family business.
That's a good way to end it too. So we're not, objectifying any women. We've
been doing that all night.
We end on the great, the good job of producers they were. That's awesome.
Yeah,
But,
I have a whole list of directors if you wanted to go down that route. But
it just shows that women paved a way and actually did the most for horror.
Like in 1953, Ida Lupino directed The Hitchhiker.
Oh,
that's
great
1953.
Yeah.
And she kept acting. Like, she's a fantastic actress, but in the late 40s and early 50s, she just started like, why can't I do this?
Right.
And she decided to do it.
Wow.
And like what's her name? Mary Lambert did Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
In 1989.
I don't want to be buried in a bed.
Or what's her name? Jackie Kong did Blood Diner.
Blood Diner.
in '80s. That's an interesting film. You guys have seen
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
But like even right now, you've got like Julia Ducournau who did Raw and Titan.
Raw.
I haven't seen either one of those.
You never seen them? Oh, Titan. You guys are car guys. You got to watch Titan. It's a very different kind of film.
I think I seen that come up on my list when I was scrolling through horror movies.
But you've got like Catherine Bigelow did Near Dark.
Oh, okay.
And then she did Point Break.
Yeah. Hey, great movie.
Oh, hey.
I love that movie.
Both of those movies are good.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got Mary Herron who did American Psycho.
Okay.
God, I love that movie.
The director of The Vampire Slayer is Fran Rubel Kazooie. Female. Yeah. You've got, I'm just rambling on here. Bria Grant, who did that movie 12-Hour Shift. Did you ever see that?
Yes, I have seen that one.
Bria Grant is a really good actress. Karen Kusama did The Invitation, XX, and Jennifer's Body. You got the Soska sisters, who did American Mary and Rabid.
Rabid was a good one.
Yeah. You've got Yolanda Ramke, who did that. I really like 2017's Cargo, the zombie film.
Right.
She directed that. The one who I really want to see is the one that did Fresh, Mimi Cave. Did you see the movie Fresh last year?
I don't think I've seen that.
one.
Oh, that's a good one. Write that one down. Fresh, about a girl that goes on a dating site, and the first half of the movie is not like the second half.
Right.
It's kind of you got vibes of Audition. You saw Audition?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's very much in that.
Ooh, that gal from Audition too.
It's a combination of Audition and Split.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's all kinds of them. Kimberly Pierce did the 2013 version of Carrie.
That was a good one too. I actually like that movie. I mean, that's my job. That was my time though too.
Yeah. Veronica Franz did 2019's The Lodge.
And that wasn't too bad.
And she also did Goodnight Mommy. She did both of those.
Okay.
All right. There's a lot of freaking good.
Yeah.
Jennifer Kent did The Babadook and The Nightingale.
The Nightingale. I don't know if I ever watched that one.
The Babadook was really weird.
It's weird. I never got into it, but I can appreciate the work behind it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, have you seen Skinamarink yet?
I was going to bring that up. I literally just had a debate in the room with Land of the Creeps. One guy goes, who I really respect, he goes, I'm 12 minutes in, and I had to say, holy shit, I'm done. Yeah. He was just like, should I, as a horror guy, do I sit through 100 minutes of it? Or do I not? Do I even delve in?
I'm a firm believer of if I'm watching a movie and then I can only get 12 minutes into it, then that's my that's
your limit.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
If I can't force myself to watch any more of it, then that's going to be my opinion.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I watched the entire thing. I forced myself to watch it because I kept thinking, okay, something's going to happen. It's going to get better. And it never does. If you watch that movie and try not to think about what's going on the screen and imagine what's going on in the background, I could see where people would get it. I will never watch that movie again. After watching that, I thought, well, it can't get any worse. So I'm going to watch Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
I've got a personal...
made Jeepers Creepers Reborn look like a good movie.
I've got a personal rule. If I can get 20 minutes in, I will watch the whole film.
Gotcha.
I don't know if I would, like being a guy that likes, I'll watch anything.
Yeah, right. That's my thing.
But do I want to waste 100 minutes?
Right there. Yeah. So think about like this, Bill. Like you don't watch a whole lot of the horror shows, TV shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of very good ones. Yeah. So the way I look at it is why would I waste my time on a, shitty horror movie when I could watch an episode of a great, The
reason I would watch it is because I know people will talk about it and I want to throw my 2 cents in, right?
Yeah, but you only got so much time.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it. We're all family men. We got stuff to do. Our time, so and I've heard it can't be one of those films that you just throw on in the background. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Like you can't do it while you're chopping celery. Like you just,
Right.
Right. And that's my thing.
Yeah, because
man.
there's nothing to really hear. And for that matter, there's nothing to really see either.
See, that's my whole point. So for me, time is everything. Like I have a very short amount of time.
I mean, can I talk about it?
I don't know. Honestly, it sounds like we're wasting time talking about it.
It is. It is. Let's move on.
Do you guys have any movies you plan on watching in the next little while? Or
I'm trying to think of when. Right now, I'm trying to catch up on series and stuff. But
so some of my big ones that I've really been wanting to watch that are getting really close is that movie Blood that I showed you. That looks really good. And then Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
I really want to see that.
But I want to see it. And also, there's that movie. It's already out. But The Price We Pay.
Dude, I watched that last week.
I'm getting ready to watch it. Don't tell me shit about it. The Price We Pay. And
I really love Steven Dorff, man.
Yeah.
He's really good in that.
And then there's another one that's there's one that's out that I just want to watch because, like I said, I'm still kind of young and I'm definitely young at heart. But there's a movie called Kids vs. Aliens.
Yeah.
And I want to see that. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks pretty cool.
I still haven't seen The Munsters. Is that
I haven't watched it either.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, don't go in expecting the old school Fred Gwynn and Yvonne DiCarlo. You're not going to get that. No. You got to go into this with a fresh pair of eyes and say, I'm just going to try and have fun with this.
Well, that's what Nathan said. He watched it with his kids and he enjoyed it for what it was.
Right.
And for me, man, honestly, like I was just talking about, time is very important to me. I don't have time is something you're never going to get back, and I don't have a whole lot of it. So like I have to really, it's kind of hard really, because I have to literally kind of write down almost what I'm going to spend my time watching, what I'm not. So if I'm watching a movie and I'm kind of with you. If I'm 15 minutes into it and I can't fucking, and I'm not going to watch no more just because I'm wasting my time. I could be, getting onto something else. And to me, time is very important, so that's my thing with it. So,
well, you know what, honestly, what I love doing is just, if there's no agenda, you open up Prime, you open up Tubi, and you just see something where the cover looks good, the description's good, and go.
That's exactly what I do at the house. When I'm folding laundry, I'm like, let's see what's going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of when we had you guys on VOD roulette, you look at a title and okay, boom. All right, go.
Yeah.
And you might at the end of the day think, I've just wasted 90 minutes. Or you go, like, I kind of found a diamond in the rough.
See, and that's what I like to do when I'm like, it's kind of like you said, whenever you could put something on and have it as background.
Yeah.
So
you're cutting onions for spaghetti. Okay, let's just have something going or whatever.
Yeah, man. When I'm folding laundry, I pile up all the laundry on my bed in my room, and I turn on TV on in my bedroom, and I'm folding. I'm kind of watching and folding, and sometimes I end up sitting down watching a movie. So, like you said, I know I found a movie that's a diamond in the rough, worth watching. So
yeah, I found one you guys should look up. It's on YouTube called Psychotronic Man.
Psychotronic Man. It's on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. It is bizarre.
Psychotronic.
I'm just typing it in. Psychotronic Man.
Knock at the Cabin is the other one I've really been wanting to see.
Yeah. Knock at the Cabin. There's one I haven't seen yet. It was on. You guys have probably seen it. It's on Peacock. It was like the slasher that came out about 3 weeks ago. Got like a red cover, a red poster with a.
Oh my God! What was the name of that?
Somebody in black on the cover.
I actually watched that. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet either. I can't remember it.
What was that?
I can't remember it. I can't remember the title because I haven't seen it. But people have brought it up saying that was like the first legit movie of the year to watch.
Okay, cool, sweet. I don't know. I think
I'll let JT look it up. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
And I don't remember the name of it.
No, but and it's a short title. It's a really short one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Somebody's
sick. Sick.
I was going to say somebody's watching, saying, "You fuckheads! Don't you know that it's
you dumbasses?"
Yeah. Hey, I can't believe we went through a horror episode and didn't mention this person, but Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley's
Mary
the
Shelley,
one that wrote Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Oh, okay.
And you know who else we didn't bring up? Janet Leigh.
Oh yeah,
Janet Leigh.
Well,
The
you know,
mother
Scream Queen from Psycho,
There's so
and
much.
the mother
and
of
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
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 Oh, by the way, The Psychotronic Man, 1979 on IMDb gets a rating of 2.9.
Ouch.
So you know it's good.
It's on Tubi.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, see, you know, we could talk for hours about it.
Oh,
you know.
absolutely.
I mean, the
But-
thing is with you guys is we can just have our own private chat and we can just go forever. Like
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly,
absolutely.
guys. But
'Cause
thanks
we're
for
all
coming.
I was going to say we're all about the horror, we're all about the love, and that's what I hope to give the audience.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you got, and you know, everyone loves it. Everyone loves you guys over at Land of the Crib. We talk about you guys all the time, and you know,
Land of the Creeps. We just hope we can get through episodes and Dave Becker hasn't fallen asleep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
yeah. Thanks for coming on, Bill.
I was
Man.
going to say
Love
the last couple episodes he's had water.
Nice.
That's
nice.
you. Good.
Nice. Right on. Well, hey, man, we're going to get out of here. It's a pleasure as always talking to you.
Thank you
let us
very
sign
much,
off.
guys. As I said, the audience, come listen to us. We'll send people your way. Everybody just basically loves to chat horror.
Spread the love.
Spread the love. Like it's like I'm not one of these people. Oh, you can't listen to this. You know what? If you're that way, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
we all just want to talk. We want to share. You might know a movie I don't know. She might know a movie I don't. Whatever. You know.
Right.
So check me out at Land of the Creeps. Check me out at Phantom Galaxy. Check these guys out. You're obviously listening to it. You know, everybody knows somebody. Just listen and enjoy. And, you know, be yourself and have fun. That's what I'm all about.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's why we invite you on.
Hell yeah.
We'll say our goodbyes after
I was
we
going to
get
say,
off
I
here.
limited my bad words.
Oh, I don't. I don't at all.
That's the wrong show to do that on. I
You
mean,
should get
fuck,
those out
Bill.
on this one.
Yeah,
But anyways,
so I was going to say, have a good fucking time, boys.
yeah, we'll say our goodbyes after we get done with this one. But
right.
anyways, guys, thanks for listening. It's always a blast to have Bill on. We love you, horror fam, and thank you guys for your support as always. You know, we love you. But more importantly, as always, until next time, keep it creepy.